Uh, Hello everybody, Weegee here. It's about a week out from the Game Awards, so I decided it'd be fun to do a predictions with featuring someone who also does YouTube with me, my older brother, Sacrow.
Hello, everybody.
He does
Usually I do
creepypastas
horror
and
content.
he does creepypastas and stuff, but he decided to come join me for this. I also have another one of my brothers, Ventura, decided to join us, but he will be here in a second, and he'll be helping us with the esports stuff. So we'll skip over that for now and jump into the most anticipated game of 2023.
There are 5 sections for esports stuff.
There are 5 sections for esports stuff. Yeah, all of which when I did it myself, guessed randomly because I have no idea about anything for
Esports.
Let me lower down my face so you guys can see the categories with me. All right, and we'll start with the most anticipated game. Ooh.
Did Elden Ring win most anticipated game years ago?
It did. It beat Legend of Zelda before it had a title, which I thought was weird because who was looking for the Elden Ring more than Zelda?
Wait, Resident Evil 4, but not like the Resident Evil 4 remake?
Yes, Resident Evil 4 Remake is on here for most anticipated game.
So I'm not super excited for Final Fantasy. It looks just alright. Hogwarts Legacy is kind of, I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, it looks really good for a Harry Potter game. You get to explore the school. You get to be a student. I don't know if you pick a house or whatnot, but there's a whole story for you to do there. Wait, that's set before the story of Harry Potter. Resident Evil 4 is Resident Evil 4.
I might get Harry Potter Hogwarts. It does look interesting, but I'm not huge into the Harry Potter world. But if I can make my own character and the character customization looks cool, and the gameplay is fun, it looks like it could be good. Yeah.
As far as Resident Evil 4 remake goes, I didn't like the original control system, which is awful. I know everyone says the game's so good you can't just hate on it for the control system, but I kind of did. So yeah, I didn't play it through it all the way.
I've never played Resident Evil 4, so with getting a remake, I'm really excited about, so I can actually experience it for the first time. Yeah, the first game had tank controls, didn't it?
Semi-tank controls. You would move forward, and you could like move, left and right with the thing, so you weren't like had to stand still to turn. But the issue was mainly you had to stand still to shoot, and that sucks.
As long as it plays like Resident Evil 2 remake, it should be phenomenal.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 is pinnacle.
That's the best gameplay-wise Resident Evil 2 has ever been. Actually, I think it's the best one. The remake, yeah, I like the remake more than I liked Village.
I liked Village a lot, but the remake is better for sure. Yeah, I think 3's gameplay is more interesting, but the game itself is less interesting.
Then we have
I love being able to perfect dodge.
You can perfect dodge in 3?
Yeah, you can perfect dodge in Resident Evil 3.
Oh yeah, Resident Evil 3 is a bit more actiony, isn't
it? Just a bit, yeah. But the way you dodge in the game is just it has to be perfect, or else you basically just stand still because you didn't dodge properly, and you get a free hit on you. So it's like a risk reward system.
So it's like a middle between like 5 and 4-ish.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then we have Starfield, which is a Bethesda game that actually looks really good, but we haven't seen much gameplay or anything about it, so it's hard to tell if we should be excited for it.
I'm excited for it.
It does look cool. It's like Fallout in space.
Yeah, Fallout 4 is one of my favorite Bethesda games of all time. It's not perfect, but it's good, and it has lots of potential for anything you want to do in the game. I think Fallout 3 is better story-wise, but Fallout 4 is, it's a great base game to explore different worlds and stories, and the mods are amazing. I just realized Starfield mods, we're going to get the Asari.
We're going to get all the Mass Effect races. I think it said Kunari, that's Dragon Age. The Quarians, the Asari, the Solarians, we'll get all of them in this game.
The Solarians will probably already be in the game because they're just such a generic race.
They are frog people? They're frog
they're
people,
based
right?
on frogs.
Yeah,
that's what Javik.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Javik's like, oh, the frog people? They evolved?
I remember when they were eating flies or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they used to eat flies.
We'll get to play
He's like, yeah, they're one of the smartest.
They also have very short lifespans.
Well, frogs. I think frogs do actually. So that checks out too.
This one we're going to play for free because it's coming to Game Pass because Bethesda owns, or Xbox owns
That's
Bethesda.
that's the biggest draw for me. Is yeah, they're owned by Microsoft now.
The biggest draw for me for Starfield is I get to play it for free. That's the best part.
Yeah, that's great.
For it.
And I can put it on my PC or my Xbox. I can interchange between the two because it lets you do that. And
Oh, they
also,
have
Kayla and I
cross-progression?
can play it. Yeah, all Xbox Game Pass games have cross progression. So if you're playing Persona 5 on your Xbox in the living room and you're like, I want to go stream it later, you can go sit in the bedroom, start it up, cross progression, you're same exact area, streaming it. Technology-wise, Xbox is so far ahead of the other competition. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's not hard to be ahead of Switch in technology, unfortunately.
True.
Speaking of Nintendo, though, we have our final game that is probably the clear winner here for the most anticipated game, which is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Game of the Year of 2016, Breath of the Wild.
That's 2016?
I think so, right? The Switch came out in 2016. When, 2016? 2019?
2017?
Shit, when Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom probably gonna go away for a little bit. Let me see.
Okay, so is it Tears of the Kingdom or is it Tears of the Kingdom?
I think it's Tears of the Kingdom. 2017.
Okay, so 2017. That's what I thought.
Still, that's 5 years ago, 6 years ago when it's gonna come out though.
Yeah, I mean, the game's been announced for a while and it looks good from what we've seen. It looks like it's using the Switch hardware better than it did initially, which is kind of cool because I mean it already uses Switch hardware really well.
It's one of the few
Pokemon, yeah.
It's one of the few like open world games that Nintendo has that runs really well. There are some things, if you have too many explosions and stuff, it'll start to lag a little bit, but for the most part, as long as you're not doing anything too crazy, it runs perfectly. And
yeah,
as long as
it's...
Go ahead.
I think it's going to run much better than the first one did because they had more time to work with the hardware now and optimize to it. But also, it can't be too ambitious because it's still a Switch. The hardware is like 6 years old now.
It looks like they added another layer to it. So instead of going wider, we're going up.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I meant like the graphically and like how much you can move around and stuff.
It looks the same because it's on the same engine, so it's gonna look probably the exact same as Breath of the Wild, just with added parts to it.
Yeah, as long as a pretty game.
Breath of the Wild is a really pretty game, and it's a really fun game. As long as they just expand on what they did in that, maybe give us a little bit more story, which from the trailer it looks like it's doing with the weird Ganon thing. It should be better than Breath of the Wild.
I think the big winner here is going to be Legend of Zelda for sure.
Yeah, it's Zelda. It's Nintendo. It's hard to beat Nintendo when it comes to anticipation and hype. They're like the masters of that. Look at any Nintendo Direct; it's way more anticipated than any other event from any other company.
That's because Nintendo operates on hype. Hype is like their currency.
Well, they also, for the most part, they deliver on their games. Most of their games are really good. They'll have some faults here and there, but for the most part, their mainline games, Zelda, Mario, even Metroid,
Mario Odyssey,
Fire Emblem recently, they've all delivered really good games.
Fire Emblem, I just wanted to go back to it recently, actually. I forgot that comes out next year.
Engage comes out in February.
And it won't be Game of the Year.
No, because Zelda's coming out in March. April?
You know, I don't remember, but that is sad. Fire Emblem. As Fire Emblem fans, we're eating good, but we're not winning anything.
I want next year to just have like 5, just all the Game of the Year, just Nintendo.
Just Nintendo. What else? What other games come out next year?
I don't know. I think Metroid Prime 4 might be coming out next year.
Do all these drop next year?
All these are next year, yes. These are all 2023, I think.
I know Starfield supposedly drops in June or like halfway through the year, so June, July.
Get dropped. It'll probably get pushed back.
I think Legend of Zelda comes out in May.
Yeah, I think
one of the games is around my birthday. It's like 2 days or 3 days after my birthday, and I'm like, oh, I want that for my birthday. Like, I don't care. That's all I want.
I think Resident Evil 4 and Fire Emblem come out the same month, or very close together.
Okay. Resident Evil 4 is... Oh, Resident Evil 4 though, it's like a full remake. It looks really good. I'm gonna buy both of them. Actually,
Oh,
I'm gonna buy 3 of these games right off the bat.
Starfield
Resident Evil
on the
4,
buy.
Starfield, and Legend of Zelda are all 3 insta buys. Well, I don't have to buy it, but yeah, they're insta plays for me, I guess.
Yeah, same. I might play Final Fantasy 16. Actually did like 15. I like the combat. I like the characters. So, and Hogwarts
Six.
Legacy is kind of an odd man out here for me.
I mean, Harry Potter fans are Harry Potter fans, but because Harry Potter's probably got more fans than Resident Evil and Starfield and Final Fantasy do.
But
Because
not Zelda.
Harry Potter fans are they're like one of the biggest fan bases of all time.
But then it's how much of them play video games.
That's what I was gonna say. Like a lot of them are readers
They're also
or
older.
movie watchers. Not always. Like there's some young 20-year-olds and 16-year-olds and probably whatever who are still reading Harry Potter. It's like we all read it when we're kids. I mean, I didn't finish them, but
I was too busy reading Diary of a Kid.
should we do what we think's gonna win and then what we want to win?
Oh yeah, well it's the same for me. It's Legend of Zelda and Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I think it's Legend of Zelda. I want Resident Evil 4 to win because horror games hardly ever win anything, so that'd be nice.
It's true. They should have won Game of the Year last year.
Yeah, I don't know who they were competing against.
It Takes Two, and a couple other games.
Oh, that's right. It lost to It Takes Two. That's fine. I'll accept it.
Alright. Last of Us 2 technically won. That's a horror game.
No, Last of Us 2 is just a random PlayStation exclusive. It's a third-person action game with horror elements.
Is it previous category or next category? We're going backwards.
If you go backwards, go to
Going
esports.
Best
no, just kidding.
adaptations. How much of these have you seen? All of
2. 1.
One. I have seen 2 all the way through. I've seen most of Cuphead, and I haven't seen any I haven't watched Sonic or Uncharted.
So I didn't watch Uncharted because it was bad. From everybody I heard from. Cuphead, I wanted to watch, and then I started Cyberpunk, but I know it ends sadly. I don't know how it ends sadly, but I know it does. So I didn't finish it, but I'm going to finish it whenever Kayla's ready. She's the one who hates watching sad things. I don't care. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was great. It improved on everything I wanted from the first one. They brought Tails in and brought Tails' voice actor in. So a voice actor for not the first time ever, but first time in a long time is actually in a big budget film. It's not just an actor they found to play the voice of.
Yeah, it's Colleen. It's something with an H. Or S. Like Shongus or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. I follow her on Twitter.
Me too.
Or did. A lot of voice actors left Twitter because of the nonsense that's going on over there. But yeah, but she's on there. And she did a great job. Tails was voice acted better than all the other characters because obviously she's a voice actor.
Yeah.
So it was like every moment with Tails talking was perfect.
It's almost like voice actors do this for a living.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik or Eggman, there's nobody else who could have done that.
Well, he's not voice acting.
Perfect.
So he's just acting.
He's not, but he's perfectly the character. Sonic did a good job. I thought Knuckles' character did a great job. Don't really care for the voice of Knuckles, but yeah, but
I would have loved if they brought Travis Willingham in to voice Knuckles.
You know that? You know he doesn't voice him in the new games.
He doesn't. Who's voicing him now?
I don't know who voices Knuckles, but it's not him. The last time he voiced him was in Boom.
Well, that wasn't that long ago, right?
No, Boom was a cartoon like a year or 2 ago. But then after that, the last games that came out before that, I don't think he was in them.
I've seen Cuphead. It's good, but it's more of a cartoony, like children's show kind of thing. They get like adventures every other episode. The devil's in it sometimes, but it doesn't really like connect to the game really. They're not out there like fighting things on it. No, it's a cartoon.
Yeah,
it's a kid's cartoon. It's just them going through like some adventures at home and trying to do stuff.
So what about Cyberpunk then?
Cyberpunk is a phenomenal show that has some phenomenal characters with really good character development arcs. The theory that the what am I thinking of? The themes it deals with. I think Arcane does better with its themes than Cyberpunk. The voice acting is really good for Edge Runners. The style of it's really good.
I really enjoyed the style of Edge Runners, the way everything moved, the character designs, the characters themselves are all cool. So from what I've seen so far, I'm only like 3 or 4 episodes in. It didn't linger too long on the first bad thing that happens to the main character.
Oh,
Some of the jokes are funny. They haven't overused nudity like I thought they would, because they're allowed to, and it's cyberpunk.
yeah. There's the weird scenes when he's walking down the street with the guy sitting on top of the um
Oh yeah.
pumping the thing. Yeah, that was weird. We were talking about spoilers a little bit for the first episode.
No, we're not spoiling anything. I thought.
No, that's the first episode. I don't know. Okay, I say the death in the first episode. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Like
like
unless it comes back later on, but it doesn't like drag him down. It also he punches the rich kid in the face or like beats him up, and I love that.
It all connects. Everything that happens to him, all the stuff, this all comes back to at the end when he starts to lose it. I guess without spoiling it.
Oh, he goes cyber psycho. I figured.
Yeah, at the end when that happens, you start to see the effects that all the things that happen start to take place. The ending of this and the ending of Arcane are actually very similar to me, as it's the culmination of everything that's happened to these characters. Ending.
Yeah, but Jinx doesn't die for sure.
Thing. Jinx doesn't die, but yeah. Okay, no,
she can't die.
Well,
no, I'm just guessing. I've never seen it.
Yeah, no, she doesn't die. Arcane does a really good job as well of expanding all the characters in and the world of League of Legends. I don't know much about the world of League of Legends like in general. I've played a little bit of it, but I've read some of the lore. And I think this does a really good job of expanding that in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Arcane that I think it's going to win for is it was really popular with League of Legends fans and non-League of Legends fans.
It broke through to the greater, population, I guess.
Yeah, the quote-unquote normie crowd.
The general audience.
Yeah.
But it also had a unique style to it that no one's ever done. The animation style is both amazing looking and extremely unique. The way they handle the themes of what Jinx's mental illness is actually handled really well compared to a lot of other things. It's not like played up for laughs or played up like, oh, she's just evil. No, she got something wrong with her. She's been through all this shit, so she's losing it.
Yeah, I do like that they finally canonically created or made Jinx and Vi sisters, because it was always hinted at in the games, but never explicitly stated. And actually, the first time we ever saw Jinx, okay, there's two different times where they hinted Jinx was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
There was a pool party Vi that appeared, and you see a random hand doing a peace sign, but who's taking the picture, and you see the tattoo, Jinx's tattoo.
Oh, the clouds?
No idea, no character, no one knew who this was. Like, oh, who is this character? And then if you went to Jinx's or Vi's page on her champion thing on the actual website, it was all graffitied by Jinx.
Wow.
And that's how they kind of introduced her, and then she came out. Because I started playing the game right when Jinx was announced. Well, technically, it was right when Quinn came out.
I feel
Quinn
like
or Lysandra, one of the two.
I feel like if I got to know Jinx in the game, I don't think I'd like her as much as if I got to know her through the show.
Well, in the game, she's a lot more crazy as like a fun personality. In the show, I'm sure she's crazy as in a holy crap, this girl's gonna kill everybody because she's crazy.
Because she sister abandoned her. That she acts. I don't know if you're gonna watch it. She accidentally kills her family, trying to help because she just wanted to help them. Then she gets adopted by the villain, and he kind of becomes her surrogate father.
The villain? Who's the villain in the show?
Sacrow. He's an all new character, and he's probably one of the best characters in the show. He's a fascinating character.
So Arcane isn't connected to the game to the games, by the way. It's not
prequel,
canon technically.
But not canon. Yeah. I think I know how, if Jinx winds up how she is in the game, I think I know how it's gonna happen. And it's gonna end with Vi like forsaking her essentially. And that will be Jinx's last, snap. She's done. Her mind's gone.
Are they making a second season of that?
They're already on second season.
I wish they did explore more than Jinx's story. Like, Jinx is my favorite character back in the game, or back when I played the game, but she's not who I would go with. Now it's a second story.
She's really popular. She's really popular, so that's probably one with her. And then they expanded on her character to make her more human, to make her more understandable.
She is the face of League of Legends.
Not just this crazy girl that's crazy and does crazy things.
Yeah, she was like the what's that term? The crazy pixie or manic pixie girl? She was that. She was like the crazy girl who would like to have fun and was a little extra, but in a cartoonishly fun kind of way. and that she's not in this.
Nope. I mean, I think she is and isn't. Because she's
They also kind of made Vi and Caitlyn a thing.
Yeah, because she has like manic episodes due to some of the PTSD where she kind of loses it at a certain point. And the last scene of this show is probably the best last scene I've ever seen in any show. The tea party at the end, ending with the shot towards the window, and the music in the show is used phenomenally. It's just so perfect for every scene they use the music in, and the way it wells up at the end with What Should Have Been by Sting.
They have music by Sting in there?
Sting does the final song. He performed at the Game Awards last year, I think.
Oh, okay. I do know the song then.
Yeah, that's the one that plays at the end of the game. At the end of the show.
Okay.
And it's I try to talk about it without spoiling anything. It's hard to talk about it.
So who do you think's gonna win?
I think Arcane's gonna win just because of its more of its appeal to the general audience. Edgerunner has had its fans, but it has some things that might drive people away.
Yeah, it's not a general audience popular.
No, like Rebecca might off-put some people.
Rebecca,
she's
the short girl.
The short girl, yeah. And then some of the nudity might put some people off.
They also changed her height every scene.
Did they?
Yeah, sometimes she's just as tall as the main guy, and sometimes in other scenes
He's short.
Well, she's shorter than him, but sometimes she'll be at his like shoulder, and then sometimes she literally has to reach up to grab his arm so he can see her.
The best thing Edgerunner gave us, a Hispanic main character in anime.
And yeah, in anime. I mean, it makes sense considering where the world was built in.
You'd think that, but a lot of movies that take place in LA don't have any Hispanics in them.
I don't mean LA. I meant, yeah, if you've played Cyberpunk, which you have, a lot of the people are like a large community is Hispanic.
It takes place in California.
Like Jackie Wells.
And Judy.
Yeah, Judy.
It takes Night City is between San Francisco and LA, I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah, it's a made-up city between the two. That makes sense. Okay, so what's next?
So yeah, I think Arcane's going. What do you think? Cyberpunk?
I think Arcane's gonna win. I don't think Arcane should win because it didn't come out this year, but whatever.
I think they did that because there was no competition for it last year, and they were kind of stuck if Arcane couldn't win something just because there was nothing else.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Sonic came out this year, right? Or came out last? No, came out this year.
Sonic's this year, Uncharted's this year, Cuphead's this year, and Cyberpunk's this year.
Sonic might win, actually.
Maybe, but maybe actually.
It's really big with general audiences.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arcane though.
Yeah, probably Arcane, yeah.
All right, next we have the best debut indie, and considering some of the stuff later, I mean, the winner is probably obvious.
Neon White.
Neon White. I saw a little bit of this game from one of the VTubers I watch, and it does look interesting.
It's literally a speedrunner's game. The game wants you to go fast and play as fluidly as possible. It's like Doom, but with a lot more speed in mind. Like Doom, you want to run through, kill as many enemies as possible, look cool. But this game's all about movement. It's like the movement shooter that everybody wants. And I haven't even finished it.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, cool. I've only played Stray. Stray is the only game here I've played. I wanted to try Tunic, never got around to it. I think someone played Vampire Survivors, right? Was it?
Someone I know played Vampire Survivors and said it was the best game ever created. So I don't know if it really is, but it looks. I mean, it doesn't have a cover, so I don't know.
It's a bullet hell. That's what that is. That's a bullet hell.
Yeah, it doesn't have a cover. Is that the cover?
Yeah, that's the cover art, I guess. It's just a screenshot of the game that's not even in high res.
That's just weird. I like Stray. Stray is fun. It's pretty basic. If we weren't playing as a cat, which is pretty much the entire game, like it's the character added, then it wouldn't be much of a game. But it's fun.
There's some unique puzzles and unique things that relate to the cat, yeah. Being able to scratch out walls and act like a cat is actually really fun.
Being able to rub on people's legs or trip them was fun too.
Meowing at the people while they're trying to throw the paint.
Oh yeah, so they drop the paint. Yeah, that's fun too. A lot of the puzzles rely on you being a cat, and that's great.
Mm-hmm. They like, okay, what we gotta center all the puzzles around what a cat would do. That's what they did.
My biggest thing is why is the cat even here?
I don't know.
I know the plot, but like, why is the cat doing all these things? You think the cat would just be like, all right, I live here down here now, and just kind of hang out?
He's gotta go back to his family.
Yeah.
Ohana means family now, and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
Well, they're not coming for him, are they?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in the game. I've gotten 2 hours, 3 hours into the game.
I'm at the end of the game or close to it, and I'm at the last like area, and I just never finished it.
That's me with Shin Megami 5.
So Tunic is also a really good game. It's basically Zelda.
It's
classic.
Yeah, it's like Link to the Past with Fox.
Mm-hmm. And also it plays very similar to a like roguelike or a Souls-like, I guess, where you kind of like the dodge roll to get around attacks and a lot of fighting and stamina. Well, actually, I don't think there's a stamina system in it, but it's very much Zelda-esque with some, a little bit of the new stuff thrown in.
I have it downloaded, but I never played it, and it was on my playlist for a long time.
It's on my to playlist as well, along with finishing a lot of other games like Cyberpunk.
I think for this one, it's gonna be between Stray and Tunic.
I really want Neon White to win, but it probably won't.
I think I'll go with Stray.
I think it'll be Stray, yeah. It's too popular online.
Yeah, but it's a meme game because it's the cat. The internet loves cats. It was kind of,
They knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing, yeah. Alright, on to the next one, which is Content Creator of the Year. Do you know any of these content creators? Because I do not.
I know Ludwig.
Alright, who is Ludwig?
I mean, I know him by name. I don't know who he does.
Oh, okay. Then let's skip this one because we don't know who any of these people are.
Gabe watches 2 of these people. I think Cutie Cinderella is a
Streamer?
COD streamer.
Okay.
I think they're all streamers.
Yeah, makes sense. What was
She's an American YouTuber.
Okay.
She's an American Twitch streamer and YouTuber. She's known for the creator and host of the Streamer Awards. She's signed to Misfits Gaming as a content creator. I don't know what she does though, but she's got a lot of followers.
With the explosion of VTubing, I'm surprised there's no VTubers on here.
Yeah, they also don't really put YouTubers on there. Like, who should have been up here?
Where's Markiplier?
Like, where's Scott the Woz?
Markiplier, Scott the Woz.
Like, Cutie Cinderella, I looked at her last 3 streams and none of them had anything to do with video games. This is the Game Awards.
But like, Iron Mouse became like the top subscribed to Twitch streamer last year. Or this year. She's a VTuber. She was the most subscribed to channel on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know who these people are. So she does IRL reaction vlogging and gaming, but I don't see any.
For a streamer content creator who has made an important and positive impact on the community in 2022. Markiplier literally donates millions of dollars in charity like every year.
Her current partner, is she dating Ludwig? Or are they partners in other ways?
A girl on here, she has like 4 million.
She has frequently made collaborative content with her current partner and fellow streamer, Ludwig.
Oh, that's nice.
I didn't say what game she plays.
I can't decide who's gonna win because I don't know any people.
I don't see a game she plays. Let's do. I don't know any of these people, so I have no idea. I guess Ludwig is the only one I really know.
I'm gonna go with Nabillion just because he has anime on this thing.
Yeah. Well, it's from an anime. It's kind of weird.
It's from Mob Psycho.
Official. Yeah, it's this official thing.
Whatever.
I never know who's up for the streamer or whatever of the year.
Alright, best multiplayer game or multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences. Irrespective of game, genre, or platform, League of Legends really isn't on here. I guess it's not really a multiplayer game. Not hating each other.
League of Legends is in the esports scene only.
We have Call of Duty, Multiverses, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredders of Time. We've only played one of these games.
I've played 3 of them.
You've played 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think I played a little bit of Splatoon.
I played Multiverses, Overwatch, and Call of Duty.
Oh, well, I mean, Call of Duty is Call of Duty. You kind of know what you're in for when you're playing it. So it's like anybody can judge Call of Duty at any time. And this one's just a remake of Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, the story was actually pretty interesting for this single player, but it's only because I wasn't really playing it. The gameplay just didn't look interesting, but the story itself was fun. Well, funny if you don't take it too seriously.
You should never take Call of Duty seriously.
I think Multiversus is the coolest idea.
Oh, definitely. And design-wise, it's just super unique.
The idea of making it halfway across the map by shielding and jumping, and it like doubles your jump distance, is insane for movement.
Also, Luigi can beat up Superman. Sorry. Shaggy can beat up Superman.
That's true. Technically, nobody beats
amazing.
Superman. Superman's got the easiest cheese game in the whole
Does
thing.
he? That makes
I
sense.
like the idea that they made it a co-op platform fighter as well.
So, do you know why this game was made?
Nope.
From what I heard from our younger brother, is the only reason this game exists is because of the popularity of the Shaggy meme. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, that's amazing.
And it's actually one of the most popular platform fighters ever created, next to Smash.
I feel like this game succeeded, and the reason this game succeeded and Nintendo and Nickelodeon one didn't, it's just the amount of effort they put in.
And the amount of content they're constantly adding to it.
And there's voice acting. All the characters are voiced by the people who voice them.
What's gonna happen when Batman needs new stuff? I just realized.
Oh, they'll probably just get another. They'll play something. They'll probably find a match-alike, look-alike, whatever it's called. A sound-alike.
I mean, Batman's had a lot of voice actors over the years, so.
Just get Troy Baker to do it.
When's Joker
Nolan
coming
North.
back?
Joker?
Yeah, when are they gonna put Joker in there so we can have what's his name?
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
We were gonna play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, didn't we? Weren't we? We just never did.
Yeah, I have it downloaded still.
Me too. It plays like the old SNES one though, so we can kind of probably gauge it from that.
Yeah,
game
but
was
6
really fun.
players.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be better than that because Mark Poole. I remember that was
Carnage.
that's the first gaming memory I have is playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was it Turtles in Time on the SNES?
Yeah, we played Turtles of Time all the time.
At our grandpa's house. That's the first gaming memory I have.
So let's start from the top then. So Modern Warfare 2, right? You didn't play it.
Nope. Well, I played Call of
Well,
Duty.
it's Call of Duty, but it's a little faster than normal Call of Duty. A lot of sliding and jumping and movement mechanics are available. But it's at the end of the day, it's just Call of Duty. So I don't have much more to say about it really.
We haven't talked
Fun
about
for a
Overwatch
few
at all.
hours.
Overwatch 2 is probably the one we have the most experience with too.
That's why I don't want to talk about it.
Overwatch 2 is probably the most infuriatingly fun game I've ever played. You know,
Overwatch
I've played
2
it a long
is,
time.
yeah.
It's both I love playing it and I hate playing it. Because at times it can be the most annoying game in the world depending on what comp the enemy is running.
Yeah, I think Overwatch 2 suffers from a few issues. Like they reduced it to 5 players. Not a bad option actually. Way less shields to shoot through. But that makes it so everyone just sticks on the tank and the tank becomes unkillable. So your job is to switch to characters who can
Deal with tanks.
Either you weaken the tank by playing Zenyatta, or you kill the healers and then kill the tank.
Yeah.
Like those are the only 2 ways to really play the game at the moment. People who can go behind the enemy team, like people who flank really well, do fine until the tank realize what happens and then they all turn on the flanker. And it becomes really hard to play flankers in the game. Unless you're just really good at flankers. But the game itself is alright.
Winston's really
I'm
good,
gonna-
but won't be annihilated by any Reaper because they can just forward tap you.
Yeah, I think some of the balancing needs to be reworked again. Reaper's become too strong with his healing.
Yeah, he heals way too much damage on his shots.
Yeah, even if he misses his shots, he still heals a ton.
Splatoon 3 is Splatoon. Have you played any Splatoon games?
I like 2, yeah.
They're actually, they're really fun. They've added some new weapons in like they usually do. It's a really big, I think it's the second biggest esport.
Behind what?
Smash.
Nah, I don't even treat Smash like an esport.
But it's the esport with the most hacking, I guess is the word.
They do weekly
Support.
tournaments on the...
It's the esport
On the
with
servers.
most support from Nintendo. They push Splatoon 3 esports hard. which I'm
Yeah.
surprised it's not any of the esports categories.
What do you think is gonna win then?
I want to say, if it was a popular vote, I'd say Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But since it's not, I think I'll go Splatoon 3.
I'm gonna say Multiverses.
That's also a solid.
That game had the highest downloads of any fighter game ever in existence, so
I mean, it's free. So
everyone wanted to play it.
I did want to play it, just never got around to it.
Oh, Danny likes it, and I
Danny
like it too.
loves it. He's really good at it too.
Yeah, I saw him. I'm like, yeah, I'm never playing with you.
You will destroy me.
He literally two-tapped one guy up in the top of the screen, literally 10 seconds into the match.
Oh yeah, I saw. He showed me. He's like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, holy crap, Danny! I could never do that in my life.
Yeah, like, okay, thanks, Danny. You should go play Smash, Danny.
Next, we have best sports and racing games. Dan, don't you love sports? And I'm gonna go with this one just because it looks art style artistically fun.
Looks like a skating game.
It is a skateboarding game.
FIFA's gonna win this next game.
FIFA is definitely gonna win this. As soccer is the most popular sport in the world.
Gran Turismo 7's probably fun though.
The best sim and strategy game. I actually did play a little bit of 2 of these, or I've seen 2 of them. I played a little bit of 2 Point Campus when it came out. I'm gonna go with Mario and Rabbids, just because Luigi uses a bow and I'm Weegee, so.
Weegee uses a bow. I think 2 Point Campus is a fun game though. Killer really likes those games.
I've learned from Mario and Rabbids that Luigi is definitely my spirit animal.
You didn't know that already?
Oh, it just reaffirmed it. He used the sniper in the first game and a bow in the second game.
I feel like Total War Warhammer 3 looks amazing, but I've never actually been able to get into it because it's so much to learn.
I can't do RTS games very often. The only one I could get into was Civ. No,
I want to get into them so badly, but I just can't.
Before we start the next category, alright, which Nintendo game do you think is gonna win Best Family Game?
Wow, it really is just Nintendo.
We got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which is a game I wanted to play. We should play together at some point. We got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, which is actually a little bit of disappointment, and Splatoon 3.
Nintendo Switch Sports just added golf, though.
Golf? Actually, that might be fun. Except they have Mario Golf.
Yeah, but Wii Golf was always incredibly fun, even with Mario Golf existing.
Nice on.
Yeah, I kind of miss golf. I'd rather play golf than any of the other sports.
Yeah,
bowling was fun, except for they made it way too easy.
Golf is fun to play in games, but incredibly boring to play in real life.
Yeah, agreed. It's because you auto move to the next spot.
Yeah, there's no having a driver walk around.
So I'm gonna say it. I'm really sad Kirby and the Forgotten Land wasn't available for Game of the Year.
I haven't played
because that's annoying. It literally was so popular, sold really well, was very like high reviews. Everything was really happy, and then like it got snubbed, I guess.
I think its status as like a quote unquote baby game kind of keeps it from being the Game of the Year, because Game of the Year is a certain challenge or whatever to be Game of the Year. It seems like.
Nah, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is harder than God of War, 100%. The game actually has like Souls-like scaling, so you're like really weak until you like level up and strengthen your characters. There's an RPG element in the game.
Oh, that's really cool. I wanted to play it. I just, again, there's so many games. There's a lot of Nintendo games that came out of the year that I haven't been able to play. So Mario Rabbids is on sale right now on Amazon for like $40.
That may be a buy, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, why is Pokemon not on here either? Did it just come out?
Pokemon just came out, November 8th.
When did God of War come out?
Probably around the same time, but they tend to favor like the games a little bit.
Let me find out when it came out.
Wait, November 8th? When did Pokemon come out? November 23rd? No, Pokemon came out for like
November 20th.
Yeah, Pokemon Scarlet and Nexus.
This came out November 9th.
Scarlet and Nexus came out on 20th.
How is a game that came out in November considered Game of the Year?
November 18th when it came out. So it came out like, I think it came out after or like a few days before they announced Game of the Year nominations. So it couldn't be
up. Pokemon is not going to be up for it, but
Pokemon will probably be up next year when God of War. They probably put God of War this one because I knew it couldn't win next year because Zelda's going to be there.
Yeah, that's 100% why they did it. They're not going to win this year, I don't think, unless they're like really biased.
Maybe.
Anyways, I think Kirby's going to win.
I'll go with Kirby.
Because I think Kirby is the closest to like the Game of the Year game. I wouldn't say it's a family game though. I think the most family friendly one is probably Switch Sports.
I would say Lego Star Wars is probably the most family-friendly one.
Yeah, but I can see your
game.
family gathering around the TV to play Switch Sports.
Yeah, it's the best family game. For game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform, whatever. Yeah, I'll go with Kirby. Best fighting game. I think we have a clear one for you.
Yeah, I really like Multiverses.
Sifu. I'm gonna go with Sifu.
Sifu's
Sifu
not a
looked
fighting
really.
game.
I guess it's on here. It was a really interesting concept of dying and then coming back to life older, but with more experience.
Yeah, but Sifu wasn't supposed to be a fighting game. That's why everyone was mad it was on here.
Oh, were they? I guess
Everyone's like, why is Sifu on there? It's not a fighting game. This game of the year, no matter what happens, everyone's gonna hate it.
Oh, definitely. But I feel like every award shows like that though.
No, but this one specifically, they put all the games in the wrong categories.
Oh well, just Sifu. Everything else is fine.
Nah, Kirby didn't deserve to be in just family friendly.
Oh well, I mean, you got snubbed in other categories, but it's not in.
Also,
the wrong
Sonic's
categories. only
only in the best music category, the new Sonic game.
Frontiers is nominated. Oh, I thought it came out.
Yeah, for just music.
Oh, okay. So probably Multiverses. Yeah, it's gonna win.
I'm gonna say Multiverses. Yeah, I agree.
And then we got the best RPGs. It's my thing now. I've played every single game on this list.
I haven't played Arceus.
Is it my console, sir?
Yeah, I played a little bit of it.
Okay. I played a little bit of Live Alive.
I haven't played much of Live Alive either, which sucks because it looked really fun. And I played very little of Triangle Strategy. But I really like Triangle Strategy.
Oh, Triangle Strategy is so good. The characters are the art style's really good. The characters are really good. I wish they did a little more with the side characters though. I don't think they get enough attention. But other than that, the story's it's already pretty good. It doesn't do anything like new for the story, but the gameplay is really fun. It feels kind of like a Fire Emblem game.
I didn't like the character icon or the sprite for the main girl. So she's a hunchback.
Did it? I haven't.
Yeah, that's it. That's my only dislike about the game. Everything else is fun.
Oh, it's a really good game. Live Alive, I played just the cowboy story, but it was really fun. And I think they do something really unique with the 8 stories, each having different kind of gameplay styles, essentially, they have to run through.
Yeah.
Arceus is up more Pokemon. I mean, that's what it is.
So is the new one.
Yeah, but this one's more.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm glad they're going more open world for Pokemon. Their hardware needs to catch up. As long as they can catch up with their hardware, I think Pokemon will be just fine.
I think they just need to take more time to make their games.
Yeah, it's weird.
They make it like Breath of the Wild.
This is usually really, really good about optimization with their games, more so than
it's
any
not
other
Nintendo.
Company. Oh right, it's not
Game Freak and Pokemon Company.
Yeah, the guy who
Nintendo just owns the right.
Yeah, the guy who optimized their game. I think what's his face? The former president, Iwata. He compressed Iwata. I think his name is Iwata.
Yeah, the one who passed away.
Yeah, the one who passed away. Yeah, I think I remember hearing a story that he came in and condensed all of Sword and Shield, condensed and optimized it to get it on the cartridge, by himself or something like that.
No, that was for the original game.
Oh, it was for the original game? I thought it was Sword or was it
No, it was back during Red and Blue. They were having trouble getting it to all fit, and so he came in over the weekend to work on it by himself and fixed it for them, and then got nothing in return. He just said, "Yeah, I just wanted this to work."
He's like,
Iwata is like the perfect president for any company.
He took a pay cut just so his employees wouldn't have to take one.
He took a pay cut so he wouldn't have to cut employees, I thought. Either way,
they didn't have to lose. They didn't lose anybody, and they didn't lose salary. He cut his pay so everyone else could still work and make money.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need money. Just keep my people.
We got Elden Ring sitting over here in the corner, which I mean,
Elden Ring is the most RPG on this list.
What? I think Chronicles is probably the most RPG on this list. Or Live Alive, traditional RPGs.
That's JRPGs.
Elden Ring is like the Western, like not even modern, because modern I see like Dragon Age. It's like
Elden Ring is the only game on this list that lets you completely customize your character in any way you see fit to be anything you want to be.
You mean D&D? It's the only one.
Basically. D&D. So if I want to make, I made a Belmont. I said, I want to make a Belmont character. So what do I need? Okay, whips. I can double whip it. Okay, now what else does he have? Fire magic? I can have that. Okay, what about this ability? What about this thing? I literally was able to make an entire skill set based off an animated character that I thought, well, a game character, I guess, that I really liked. I did the same thing with, I made Sasuke. I made a Thunder Knight guy who just, his whole thing was just casting lightning spells. So it's really cool. But like, other than that, that's the only RPG elements. You're not really role playing besides combat wise.
There's no characters or anything, no personalities. Everything that makes a
There's tons of
game.
characters.
Are there?
Your character has no character. Yeah, there's a ton of characters in the game.
I've run into the one girl, one lady who talks to you.
Which one?
The
main one?
Yeah, the main one.
What's her name? Not Ronvi. Ramana or something. There's too many R-named characters in
The
Elden
world
Ring.
felt lifeless to me.
Well, did you finish it?
No.
Did you do any of the side quests?
I tried.
You didn't do any of the side quests.
No, the gameplay kind of meh.
Gameplay's great. It's the best Souls game has ever been, except for maybe.
That's not really saying much though. I don't like the other Souls games either though. The gameplay.
Well, then that's a whole different issue.
Yeah, they're like really slow, and the dodging doesn't work 80% of the time.
Listen. There's a character named General Radon, right?
Yeah.
He rides a tiny horse.
Yeah.
You know why he rides a tiny horse?
This
was his best horse, his best friend horse, right? He rode this horse in countless battles. His horse was getting too old to carry him because he's huge. And instead of, picking a new horse, he learned gravity magic so he can make himself way less so he can keep riding the same horse and keep his friend in battle with him. If that isn't character, I don't know what is.
Did you have to read that in the book?
Yeah, you picked it up on one of the scroll things. Doesn't make it any better. Also, her name was Melina.
Melina?
Which there's like 4 Melinas.
From WE?
Melina, Melina. She's the main girl. She's the one everyone called waifu bait until the other girl happened. Rami.
Is she the one missing
the blue girl?
The other one?
Ronnie's the blue-eyed girl.
One missing one eye?
Ronnie's the blue one. Millennia's the non-blue one. So if you go to the character list, there's literally like 100 characters on here. There's some cool characters, some sad characters. Everyone really liked the wolf guy who you have to kill depending on how you do his storyline. There's Fia. Everyone loves Fia for obvious reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of lore and a lot of characters, but you have to like really explore the world and really engage with the gameplay, or else you won't see any of that. But that's a conversation for Game of the Year section, so just keep going. I think it'll probably be if it goes to Elden Ring, then in this category, they don't win Game of the Year. If Elden Ring wins here, yeah.
I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is gonna win this one.
Xenoblade, I could see that.
Just so they don't have to give it Game of the Year.
Okay, so if either of those two win this, they won't win Game of the Year. Well, Xenoblade won't win Game of the Year anyways, probably.
When it came out, everybody was talking about it on Twitter. Like every chapter.
I saw nobody talking about it except for the Donkey haters, because Donkey spoiled the ending of the game.
That's kind of a dick move.
Well, it wasn't the ending of the game. It was that picture, the one.
Oh yeah. No, like every time I was on Twitter, I'd see like chapter 1 trending, chapter 2 trending for Xenoblade Chronicles. The only problem with the game I had was it was just really long.
Did you see MatPat's video about Twitter?
No.
How Twitter's lying to you about what's actually popular?
Oh yeah.
Like she pointed out that all the things that were listed as like top trending results are never what's actually trending in the real world.
Oh.
And it like literally pointed to the fact that Twitter is tiny compared to every other social media site. So yeah, like Twitter's like a lie basically. Anyways, yeah, it'll probably be Pokemon actually.
Oh yeah, Arceus. Yeah.
People loved that game.
It did. It was
Pokemon.
very unique for a Pokemon game when it came out.
Wait, hold on. Wait, did it come out last year?
No, it came out at the beginning of this year, February.
Why is that not up for Game of the Year?
Because they had to make room for, I don't know, God of War.
Yeah, and Xenoblade.
Oh, Xenoblade came out in August, though.
Yeah, Pokemon came out the entire year, and probably sold more than everything here, but Elden Ring.
Yeah, probably. Actually, I don't know. Next category.
It didn't. Yeah,
Oh.
next category.
Best action adventure game. This one's probably one of my God of War. Wait, is this?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, this is an adventure game. I think A Plague Tale should win. A Plague Tale is a really good game with really good voice acting.
I also really liked A Plague Tale. The first one. I
haven't played the first one, so I was very confused when I played this game.
It's so interesting. The power dynamic is great. As in, you're not powerful at all.
It focuses mostly on stealth, and I really love stealth games. Assassin's Creed.
You can also feed enemies to the rats.
You can push them into the rats.
And that's fun.
The setting's really fun. I like medieval Europe. Medieval Europe's always a fun place to explore. It's obviously based off the bubonic plague.
So why is Elden Ring not in this category too?
I don't know, because I guess it's not an action adventure game. It's more action game than RPG, honestly. It should be in this section.
It's a little bit of both, but it definitely needs more of this because look at it. It's combat, traversal, and puzzle solving. That's literally all Elden Ring is. The puzzle solving is more in the boss fights though, because you got to figure out like what their strategies are, and you can find special items that make them weaker or make you stronger.
I don't know if that's puzzle, but
it is. It's a puzzle. I mean, you can always brute force it.
Horizon Forbidden West is probably
I win. I think Stray could win this one, just in general.
What? Oh, I didn't say I was gonna win. I'm just saying that's kind of the perfect example of an action adventure game.
I think God of War will win this, even though it's standard combat and traversal. I mean, traversal is walking down long hallways of the level design.
It's not an adventure game. It's an action game.
Yeah, it's an action game. There's no adventuring.
It's an adventure game. Phoenix an action adventure.
So it's Horizon Forbidden West.
Plague's an action adventure. God of War is just action. There's no adventure.
The puzzle solving is also not true because the puzzles apparently solve themselves.
It's weird that they put puzzle solving in for action adventure. It's not really I guess adventuring games.
This is like the Link section.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's games that kind of follow.
You know what? Tunic might win this one just because people are starting to vote more for indies.
Yeah, but it's also not us voting. It's mostly the panel of experts, whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't trust the experts. They're always wrong. All right, next, I guess.
Yeah, God of War is probably gonna win.
I also think God of War will win. Yeah. Sadly.
Now we got best action game. Why is there an action adventure section if we have an action section?
Huh.
Call of Duty. I guess Call of Duty is an action game, but it's a shooting game. No, it's a shooter game. It's not an action game. They're two different genres.
It's an FPS, yeah.
Yeah, it's first-person shooter. I don't know.
Neon White should win this one because it's all about the action. It's literally just jumping and flying and sliding and shooting.
That's Sifu. It says Bayonetta. I think Bayonetta 3 might win just because of the hype that was surrounding it.
There's more controversy, but yeah.
Well, I mean, leading up to it, it's like, oh, Bayonetta 3 is finally coming out. It's been like
has Bayonetta even sold 1 million copies?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I won't even look up.
Talk about sales number. Call of Duty wins.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, hasn't really. I don't think it sells very well. All right, I hope Neon White wins. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think Bayonetta is gonna win. I haven't really played any of these games, so I can't really say much. AR and VR.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't touched any of these.
It's gonna be Among Us.
Except Bone Lab.
Guys, it's gonna be Among Us.
Among Us is gonna win. You're right.
It's gonna be Among Us. Come on.
VR Among Us though.
Literally the biggest.
The fall looks really cool.
Oh yeah, it does. It probably looks cool, but does not play cool because it's VR, and VR has not progressed far enough to actually have like engaging gameplay like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Among Us is probably gonna win.
Very cool. Thanks, Among Us.
This is a weird one to judge. Also, why is The Last of Us 2 here? This came out 2 years ago.
Part 1 got re-released this year.
Oh, well, I said Part 1. I just said Last of Us. Innovation and accessibility.
I think we just skip this one because I don't know. I haven't touched any of their accessibility options.
I'm surprised Ubisoft's not in here. Ubisoft's actually a really good company about accessibility. Giving you like
Microsoft literally made a controller that anybody can use.
Well, then I'll go with As Dusk Falls because it's an Xbox video game.
Oh, yeah, that works, I guess. With that controller, that works. Literally, it's a controller that anybody can use. You can make anything a button on it. in any way
that's
you
really
want.
cool. Yeah, if you ever look at Ubisoft's like accessibility thing, it's like a freaking 3-page long thing.
Hmm.
And their accessibility, if you play Assassin's Creed, go to their accessibility, yeah, for color coding and stuff like that. Best community support.
It's gonna be
Where's Genshin?
probably Final Fantasy 14.
Where's Genshin?
The community's talks. I can't really leave it alone.
Okay, he talks for every game, so
True. I want Apex to win because I play it a lot, but I think it's gonna be Final Fantasy 14 because the community is, yeah, you know,
it's like No Man's
the
Sky.
people.
The amount of dedication
No
they
Man's
put
Sky?
into No Man's Sky for a game this old and that started that's dead,
Yeah.
it's actually pretty amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna vote Apex myself though.
Oh, No Man's Sky. I think No Man's Sky won last year. Best mobile game. I'm pretty sure I know which one's gonna win this. Actually, Final Fantasy popped up this year.
Apex Legends won the majority of the vote for this one, but
For mobile game? Why?
Apex Legends had like 40-something% of the vote.
Doesn't it play kind of garbage on mobile? I think
I
it
don't know. I haven't played
Genshin
on
though.
mobile.
Well, Genshin will
I just
drain
saw
your
that.
battery.
Genshin's on everything though.
Genshin is on everything. It's not really a mobile game. It just plays on the phone.
Yeah, no one plays it on mobile. Come on.
No, it's a computer game basically. Apex Legends is basically a computer game too, though. Diablo Immortal's trying to scam you out of your money.
Yeah, and so is Tower of Fantasy. Look at that thumbnail. They know what they have planned.
But I think it's a character from the beginning too that disappears.
Oh,
They got Marvel Sap with I think it's America Chavez.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either. I'm still upset that they canceled Marvel Academy
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
before giving us that dating sim they promised.
Yeah, they're like, you can date the characters. Like, what? That's interesting. Dating Marvel characters, then that never happened. They just
It
canceled the
never
whole
came
thing.
out. It never came out. What happened is they switched the gameplay all up and it died after that. They had this like
gameplay.
yeah, they had this massive rehaul for like how everything worked, and then it died like 4 months later.
That is sad. I think
Also,
it's
some of the
separating.
things were a little combat or free to play unfriendly, like Thor and Hulk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man.
But yeah, I think Genshin Impact will take this.
Maybe.
It's the biggest game on this list.
Apex Legends has more players than Genshin does.
Yeah, but Genshin.
Not mobile though. I don't think so.
Best indie game. Oh, Cult of the Lamb. Everybody was playing this.
Yeah, I heard Cult of the Lamb's really good. I've seen a lot of my friends stream it. Stray's probably gonna win this one though, I assume. Man,
There is
Tunic's been on everything.
And every indie one, yeah. I'm just want to Tunic. I don't think they'll give everything to Stray. Drilling in the other room.
What was that?
Someone's drilling in the other room.
Drilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they'll give every award to Stray. I think they might, like God of War or Last of Us 2 won like 8 awards in 1 year.
Yeah, the year where everyone said Last of Us 2 sucks and no one wants to play it, literally won every
Give it all
award.
their awards.
Like, wow, dude, you're winning everything. How is this happening? Oh, is it rigged? Who knows?
They subscribed to that Eric Bischoff philosophy of controversy creates cash or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but nobody, like, the game was literally not bought by that many people comparatively.
Cult of the Lamb might win, actually. Everybody was playing it.
It's the only one with Cult of the Lamb in it, so I hope it wins.
Just give it the one award.
Yeah,
Cult
just
of
let
the
it win the
Lamb.
one thing it was picked for.
It'd be fun if they did more diverse choices for everything. Best ongoing game. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final
There's
Fantasy
Genshin.
14, Fortnite, and Genshin again. Genshin won this last year. I'll probably win it again.
It won this last year? I don't remember
Yeah,
winning anything.
when they said Genshin Impact.
Oh, right. Oh, this is the awards where they skip right over. Apex Legends is fun but it's been a little bit of a drought right now.
Has it no new content?
They released a bunch of new content all at once and then didn't trickle it out, so now we're just in a drought.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst way to do any ongoing game.
Well, they released a lot at once because they wanted to fix a bunch of stuff. So they fixed a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
It was really fun, and then they're like, "Here you go," and then like the end of the year just kind of came, and there was nothing really special. Christmas events happening right this second though, with new skins, but that's not really content.
That's fun. I don't think Destiny 2 is gonna win. I mean, I don't even know if anybody plays Destiny 2 anymore.
It's still really popular, yeah.
Is it?
Fortnite's really popular still too, and so is Final Fantasy 14. All these are really popular. Not a single game on this list is not a popular game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy 14.
I go with Genshin Impact and bank on them mispronouncing it again.
I hope so.
Genshin Impact, yeah, best game. I feel like it supports, like, if we're going ongoing, it's probably got the most content of all of them on the most consistent basis.
Yeah, are you using Opera GX?
Yeah, because my Chrome broke for a bit.
Oh.
I couldn't
What
log
do you
into my
usually do?
I couldn't log into my YouTube for like 2 weeks for some reason. I don't know what was going on. It's back to working now, but
That's very weird. All right, let's go.
right. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I have not played any of these. This one has wolves. Those cute little wolves. I'll go with this one.
Those are foxes.
Oh, foxes. Sorry, I knew there were foxes. I don't know why I said wolves.
I'm gonna go with As Dusk Falls because I have no idea what any of these other ones are.
That's the one with the interesting art style.
I remember.
We've seen trailers for it a bunch.
It's the only one I've seen anything for. So
Yeah, and extinction is forever. That is depressing. All these foxes will die at the end. That's what's gonna happen. Best performance. We have Ashley Birch from Horizon Forbidden West. She's the main character. I'm pretty sure Charlotte McBurney is the main character, main girl. We have Thor himself, Kratos himself, Man Engaged from Immortality, and then the kids from Ragnarok as well.
why do they put Ragnarok on here twice? Like,
It's
there's a million
Kratos.
games that got voice acted.
It's Kratos and Boy. Yeah, it should
No,
be. It should be one per game for every category.
And Kratos talks less than his son does. It should have been his son only.
Birch
It's probably
is
gonna be Christopher Judge again because he wins all the time.
Ashley Birch is a phenomenal actress, though, and she's really popular.
I've seen her in one thing and I didn't like her in it. So
She's Sasha in Attack on Titan. She's Tiny Tina. She's the main girl in this game. I think she's done quite a bit of things.
she's in that one show about people who create video games, and she's the worst character in it.
She's in I think she's in Fire Emblem as well.
She's also in a commercial for buying video games.
Oh, nice. I think Charlotte McBurney should win. She did a phenomenal job as the main girl.
I don't know who
The emotion in their voice is great.
I don't know who Manon Gage is from Immortality, but I'm voting for that one.
Like, if we're talking about emotional range, she's probably a lot better than Kratos is, who has one emotion. Rage.
Yeah, he's less rageful, so they took away his one emotion.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Ashley Birch, just because she's really popular.
Sure.
Best audio design. What? How is Plague Tale not for audio design?
Yeah, when it has little audio cues.
The audio design is so good in that. The way the rat, you can hear the rats skittering around all around you.
I'm gonna go Elden Ring on this one because it's been elected like twice or only.
That's I don't know. Gran Turismo car sounds are cool.
I like that every single greaves you wear have different sounds.
Do they? That's actually really cool. Call of Duty's always had really good sound design as well.
The new one doesn't though.
No?
The feet sound weird in the new one, so it's hard to listen to them to tell if someone's coming.
What's going to win? I kind of want to go with God of War just because God of War.
Gran Turismo probably sounds good.
Oh, car game sound design is usually pretty good, and the music and all that stuff, the way the cars sound when they go by, yeah, it's always pretty good. Though they rarely give racing games anything, they probably win less awards than horror games.
Yeah, well, that's because there's less racing games. Horror games, what does it mean? Not a single horror game, indie horror game was up for Game of the Year, by the way.
How many indie horror games came out this year?
Thousands.
Oh.
The ones that went popular didn't get a single nomination.
Oh, what's got popular this year?
I may have to look at the list of indie horror games that came out this year, but there's a lot.
I'll probably go with Elden Ring too, just don't want to play on here. Horizon got
I like the
snubbed.
sound of
Horizon
walking.
got snubbed. Plague Tale got snubbed in this one. Actually, there's
So
no
it's
Nintendo
Sonic.
games. Nintendo games have really good sound design as well.
Luigi's Mansion should have been in sound design. That game sounded so good.
Oh, yeah. It came out last year, didn't it?
It came out a while ago, but I remember when Luigi would like literally hum the theme song playing in the background. Yeah, he started humming his own theme song for Luigi's Mansion. It was great.
Oh, that game's so
All
good.
right.
All right.
Guess next,
Score and
almost done here.
music. Wait, no, Sonic's on here. I don't think Sonic's up this year.
That's crazy. Sonic's not up here. It came out right before God of War Ragnarok.
If we're covering score and music, it should probably be Metal Hellsing, because that game's literally just about its music essentially.
I like a
it's
lot of
literally-
songs, but I can't name any of them.
Literally just Doom. So yeah, Metal
Alright,
Hellsing
let's
should probably win.
see.
But Xenoblade Chronicles had a really good soundtrack. Most JRPGs usually do have pretty good soundtracks. A Plague Tale, I don't know, its music's also really good.
Sonic Frontiers came out the same day as God of War Ragnarok. It's not up for anything. Not a single nominee for the best Sonic game we've had in the last 10 years.
So it's actually a bit harder. I don't know about Ragnarok's music, and Elden Ring's music's kind of always been, or all the Dark Souls games kind of been samey in their music department, except
They're all really good. That's about it. Bloodborne's
Bloodborne's
better
the
than
one's different. Yeah, Bloodborne has
Bloodborne's
like
better.
this. I think it's like most songs. Are their songs like more piano-y?
They're more like
Gothic.
Gothic, yeah, because it's Gothic horror. It's
Yeah.
the best one. Elden Ring's good though. Still, it had some really good.
Bloodborne's the
songs.
only one I actually enjoyed.
Bloodborne's great. We need to play more Bloodborne.
Hellsing is, I think, should just, and it's probably the best music.
Hellsing's cool because of the music and the
Objectively.
gameplay are integral.
I feel like that should get it the win. Its music is so ingrained in its gameplay and everything. It should just win for best score in music.
I feel it's gonna be Xenoblade just because it's not gonna win Game of the Year. Again.
Xenoblade has really good music. Xenoblade or Plague Tale is what I'm going to go with for this one.
Okay. I'll say maybe Xenoblade as well.
Art direction. This one's a strange one. Scorn's probably got the most interesting art design.
Just Scorn just gets one section in here for the horror game. Hello.
I mean, its art direction is really interesting. Elden Ring and God of War kind of have that same vibe going on for their realistic kind of shit.
Elden Ring does a lot of really cool things with its boss designs, though.
Mhm.
I think Elden Ring wins, but wins in this category not because of the literal look of things, but the design of the game itself was really interesting and new. It's an open world game where nothing is. You literally got to figure it out yourself. So good luck.
For outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation.
Yeah. There's also animation. There's different animations for every character in the game. They don't reuse a lot. They usually reuse a lot of enemy animations, though.
Stray has the best cat animation I've ever seen in the game.
That is true. There's cat animation. Scorn's animations are disgusting, but very, very detailed.
Yeah, that's going to Scorn from the beginning. It's definitely the most unique one here in its art design.
I say Scorn should win. It won't.
Horror game, they'll win. I'm surprised,
Horror
like,
games are a win.
I'm surprised something like Triangle Strategy isn't on here.
Yeah, it doesn't mean literal art design, though.
It's art direction. It says technical achievement in artistic design.
And animation.
And animation, but they don't really have animation because it's not.
Yeah,
not,
exactly.
That's,
Their hand
that's
moves
not-
when they talk.
that's not the style they're going for though.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's not just taking a different style. It's literally pushing the medium forward. Which of these push the medium forward in any meaningful way with design animation?
No, I don't think any of them really did.
Elden Ring did.
Best narrative, not Elden Ring. Elden Ring has shitty.
People were so
stories.
mad that people were so mad when this was developed or announced for best narrative, and then everyone was like, "Oh, narratives this, narratives that." Literally, no one knew what the definition of narrative was.
It's
It
gotta
was
be
so
Plague Tale, right?
funny.
Plague Tale's the one that only has
No.
one that's like a comprehensive narrative.
No, technically, by the official definition of narrative, Elden Ring should win.
Why?
It's a spoken or written account of connected events, a story. So it's overall everything. It's not the story itself. And none of these just tell stories. Only one who tells it has a narrative is Elden Ring.
I think Horizon.
Maybe Maybe Immortality.
Horizon probably
I
does
haven't
too. It's open world and all that. That's stuff on the side. Well, storytelling and narrative development in the game.
I still think Elden Ring should win this just to make people mad.
I think a Plague Tale should win.
Because you're not smart enough to be able to read when you're playing your video game.
Nope.
Nope. Reading
Nope.
is bad.
Reading sucks. The only books I read is my psychology books.
You also read a lot of JRPGs, Andrew.
I do. There's a lot of reading in those. But that's part of the story. I don't have to read like side books that are take me away from engaging in the story.
True.
Like Skyrim. Skyrim has 1,000 books, but who gives a crap about that?
Well, most of their books are just world building. They're not really important to the actual story. Go start Elden Ring and actually read items and stuff as you pick them up and listen to what people are telling you. And then tell me that's not the best narrative ever interwoven through a video game.
I will.
All right, cool. We can go back to the other categories now. Gabe's here.
Gabe here? Gabe? Hello?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
I see that. Oh, there he is. Alright, Gabe, you're going to help us with this esports stuff since I know absolutely nothing about it.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I feel like they just didn't...
Try?
Yeah, they didn't do anything at all.
Oh, no.
Besides Faker, I think, because he went to semifinals, or, sorry, finals for Worlds. It's the only person I know that actually did something this year.
Alright, let's start with the best esports event, Gabe.
Best esports event? Alright, let's see.
Yeah, you can look at the screen.
Which one of these league events should win?
Not Invitationals. Valorant Champs. Hold on.
So it's Evo, the fighting tournament, League's World Championship, PGL Major, which was CSGO, League of Legends mid-season Invitational, and then Valorant. It's World Championship. Let's give it to Valorant because NA won that. Let's go.
You guys didn't NA actually won that. What the hell?
We won the gun, Gabe? Oh, man.
All right.
I don't know.
Of course, it won the shooting game.
Well, we don't always win those. We never win at CSGO.
We win CSGO.
The Europeans.
Oh, the other. Yeah, okay.
Groups. What was it called? Crap, I already forgot.
I think what's important for esport tournaments is actually like the story of it, not the just actual tournament.
Correct.
And I feel like the Worlds actually went, besides DRX winning, obviously because of the whole Cinderella story with Def, kind of went as planned.
Yeah, it's Korea stomping literally everybody.
Stomping, China like being best in Europe.
Even if it was like a lesser Korean team.
What? Well, I mean, look at PGL real quick.
PGL
Actually, Brazil won.
And yeah, so I kind of want to give it to Valorant.
Brazil won. Valorant this year.
Yeah, I want to give it to Valorant.
Alright, Valorant.
With
Clan, yeah, I don't care.
Optic came in second, which is an American team, and then they had DRX third place, which is a Korean team. And then fourth place was Fun Plus Phoenix, which is the Chinese team. Oh no, just kidding. Fun Plus Phoenix is made of Ukrainian players. What the heck? They have two players who have non-representing regions? What does that mean?
They're not represented by a region? They're
That's
rogue.
impossible. Where are they from?
They're rogue.
So the fourth place is Europe. So yeah, NA was second place in this one. We actually didn't win this tournament. We won the last year's tournament. So you're on Valorant? Okay, Valorant. Easy.
Right. Next we have the best esports coach. He's probably like the most boring one right?
Coaches are important.
I know, but it's like it's not as flashy as like the players. Like, oh, this player does like these sweet ass moves or whatever. That it's like, nah, who coaches?
Yeah,
the
but
best?
your coach can teach you and take you from a good team to a great team.
I know, but when you're looking on like the story of like any sports, the coach is kind of like the least focused on thing for the most part.
Shouldn't be.
Why do they have score on here for Gen G when they didn't even win Worlds?
I don't know why they put Gen G's coach in here.
This
Who's
is the only guy
coach when
this is the only guy with a trophy, so.
Yeah, they
Mathis?
did win this year.
Matthias.
Oh no,
Matthias.
FaZe also won. FaZe
Matthias.
Clan won CS:GO.
Wait,
Oh,
FaZe
what's
actually
this?
won CS:GO this year?
Yeah.
Where's this trophy?
No, I didn't know that. He's not holding it, of course. I don't know. I'm biased.
Like, okay, of course here because he has a sweet suit on compared to the rest of them. That's why he's here.
Oh yeah, score.
Yeah.
I don't know why Genji was okay. So Genji was the number 1 team out of Korea. That's why he's here.
They didn't win though.
They didn't win
Well-
at all. They did terrible.
They won
What?
the. Oh wait, they won in Korea, but they didn't like win, like the actual event, like Worlds, which is, I think is more important than winning your
Region, yeah.
international. Yeah, or called domestic.
All these teams play mostly domestic or international stuff. League is the only one that has like individual scenes and then goes into an international event. I'm pretty sure.
Valorant has one now, but it's because of Riot. And then CS:GO has one.
So who do you think?
I don't know any of these coaches, so I have no idea.
Andre
Cool.
is the most
But I know
European looking guy in the
Korea-
world.
Okay, so here's the one thing is that I do know Korean coaches are just like better than most
They are, yeah.
coaches.
Yeah.
Literally, Marin's being brought over to coach Team Liquid.
Oh, they're bringing up a foreign coach to teach DNA.
Yeah, they do it a lot actually. We had a Reaper teach Cloud9.
Oh. That's
That was the
cool.
best Cloud9 ever looked.
Get the best to train you.
I'm gonna have to say FaZe Clan guy looks super serious. He
FaZe
did
Clan?
win
Yeah.
CS:GO,
Oh,
and that's a
yeah.
very
I'm not a fan of FaZe in general, but yeah.
Yeah, but this Blade dude looks like the most European man in the world. Look at him. Even he's in
But he didn't win.
skin
He
European.
didn't win, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. European.
Yeah, if he didn't win, he didn't win.
Yeah.
GG, boys.
All right, best esports team.
Not Genji. Oh,
Yeah.
the first one's. Wait, the first one's.
Best Cloud9's on here.
Apex?
Aren't they always on here?
They won last year, I think. I'm surprised we don't have EG on here for anything. EG's like
Yeah.
this up and coming esport organization that's like taking over in every single scene they're in.
Not the full organization, it's just teams. What it says.
Okay, so Loud won Valorant. That's big for Brazil. They never really win anything.
Dark Zero Sports won Apex. They have a trophy right next to them.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
guys are from Australia.
Australia?
Yeah, they literally just barely beat out over the two NA teams behind
Oh wait,
them.
FaZe also won CSGO. We have 3 winners here.
Genji didn't win because haha, Genji, and then LA Thieves won Call of Duty.
But no one cares about that.
I would have voted for DRX.
Yeah, I would have voted for DRX too. I guess Loud again.
Loud. Loud and proud, guys.
Go to the Brazilian boys, you know.
Brazilian homies.
Yeah. Plus, Loud is technically an NA organization.
Yeah, well. Isn't Brazil South America?
Yeah, South America.
Yeah, I don't really know who to pick for this either.
I think it's it. I think it's only 3 sections.
Nope, we
Oh,
got
wait.
best esports
There's one more.
athlete in general.
What
Yeah,
I want to know
Jacob-
is why Faker's here again.
We got Chovy, Faker, Carrigan, Simple, and Yay.
Why do we have 2 CSGO and 2 League of Legends? We should have 1 League of Legends, 1 Valorant, 1 CSGO, 1 Apex Legends,
One fighting
and,
game.
and then 1 fighting
Yeah,
game.
where's
there's
where's
not a
all the
single fighting game.
fighters? There's not a single fighting game person on here.
I don't know actually. Maybe because all the same people who've been winning fighting game tournaments are still winning fighting games tournaments.
Yeah, but Faker's probably here every year, isn't he?
Yeah, Faker won.
He won last year, yeah.
No, he didn't win last year. Did he? Oh, this event, yeah.
Chovy is like got a church dedicated to him.
What?
Yeah,
The Church of
Chovy-
Chovy?
The
Chovy
church,
is-
yeah, the Church of Chovy, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty iconic actually. Chovy and Faker are iconic. in the league.
Jiyoung Ji-hoon.
They're both mid laners.
Hmm.
Wow. Where's Deft? These people don't even watch these tournaments. Don't you guys have
They-
esports
yeah.
professionals?
I think
Probably
they just
not,
pick Korean
honestly.
players, and then they
Yeah, they
pick
just pick Korea.
Cloud9. Why they pick Cloud9? I'm assuming these are all like popular in some way, because Simply is a iconic.
Oh, yeah,
CS:GO
Simple?
player.
Yeah, I've seen
Where's-
Simple play League of Legends, or not League of Legends,
CS:GO?
Apex for a while.
The CS:GO.
Yeah, he plays CS:GO, but I watched him play Apex for a little while.
Oh.
Alexander.
Also, there's no Halo in
Kostulov.
here either, and Halo's championships were pretty popular this year.
There's no Halo. There's no like Overwatch.
No Fortnite.
No Fortnite. That's a massive game too.
Overwatch
like-
has kind of been on the downtrend though.
I feel like it was just kind of looking at it. Just a lot of these people nominated just don't seem like they'd be nominated.
What's the T1?
SKT.
Yeah.
SKT? Okay, so
They're
it's T1
T1
now. LOL. I was like, I don't know what T1 is. I think there's
That's
one
their
more.
organization.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Chovy
Oh.
over Faker because he took home his first title.
We have the last one for esports. Best esports game.
Rocket League.
Rocket League. Who is this girl chewing bubblegum in the Valorant?
I don't play Valorant. Yeah, that's Gabe.
I don't remember her name actually.
Hey, Dota 2's on here. Why
Hey,
aren't you on
Dota 2's on something.
Why aren't you on anything else? Oh, what about Siege? Nothing from Siege. That had that's pretty big.
Yeah, I think Siege kind of died this year though.
Did it?
Oh,
Yeah,
her
they
name's
introduced Killjoy. Oh, it's Killjoy. Okay, she's the one who shoots rockets.
Killjoy. Mhm.
Everyone hates her or hated her back in the day because she literally would one-shot whole teams.
I thought you would play Valorant. Honestly, it's very similar to Apex with CS:GO mechanics.
Yeah, but Apex is a lot more run and gun, and I can dodge and dive, and I can't do that in Valorant. I can kind of do that in Valorant. I should honestly play Valorant. You're right.
I think I played
I
Valorant
think you're
3 times.
I mean, I'm starting League back up next week.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Kiana one trick.
You're gonna do
Um,
like something.
Honestly, just because League is still the like #1 esport and it's still running as #1 esport, even though how much slack everybody says it is and how bad everybody says it is, I think it's still the best esport.
Yeah, I think Valorant's gonna win, but I want League of Legends to win.
I don't think Valorant's gonna win. I don't think it's esport wise, but like
It's the.
as like good
It's
as
pretty
League yet.
popular.
I think
Yeah,
League is like
no,
the
but-
best backed and supported esports league or like championship.
Oh yeah, they put a lot of
we
money into
have.
League of Legends.
There's a lot of money put in it. The teams get a lot of like.
What happened to Dota 2? Did the invitation not happen this year?
It did. I looked at it.
Oh, it wasn't on the list.
Yeah, I don't
MSI
know.
was on there for some reason. And
Like colleges have League of
Oh,
Legends
both.
teams now.
yeah, they
That's
don't
how
have
big
Valorant
League of
teams.
Legends is. That's how big League of
No,
Legends is now.
wait, they do have Valorant teams.
Do they?
Oh, they do too.
Yeah, I
Like it's
all
only
of them.
like
and Overwatch too. Overwatch also.
I think we're only like
Wait, why
a
is it-
few years away from
Oh,
like
man.
collegiate level League of Legends stuff.
It already happened, Andrew.
We haven't but broadcasted. Is they broadcast or anything like that?
They
Yeah, they're
still broadcast
broadcasted.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot less viewership, but I mean, it still gets viewership.
I just think the scene needs to be polished a bit more if it wants
We're a
to
few years away
even
from it
longer.
headlining ESPN. Like the
It was
main
on ESPN. People complained about it.
The ESPN well, it's
Those
probably like,
video games.
it's probably like on
Halo.
ESPN 2
Yeah, that was
or
Halo
3
also.
or 1, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
Halo also got. Yeah,
it's probably gonna be like the
It's
main
crazy
ESPN
'cause, like,
channel.
There's things like golf and fucking chess and people complain about
Tennis.
sports.
tennis is fun. What do you mean?
Yeah, no, I think
Don't you talk down tennis.
Tennis is really physical though. A lot of physicality in that sport.
Ping pong.
Also physicality.
Ping pong's really funny. Okay, where were we towards the end? We were like at the last two, weren't we?
We were on Game Direction. I think it was the last one we were on.
Oh, game direction.
Best award for outstanding creative vision, innovative, and game direction and design. This is just direction of the
Oh,
game, like
Definitely
in general.
Stray. Now all these games have typical things that are just like patented, like Elden Ring and God of War, where it's just like you know it, you already know what you're gonna go into. But Stray is an entirely different game.
It's more creative. It's the most creative
Exactly.
thing on this list.
It is so much more creative than their other games.
It's just you play as a cat and you do simple puzzles, guys. Come on.
Yeah, but
like,
if we're talking about Elden Ring, it's not like a
it's never
creative
been
game.
created. Like
Yeah, it's not-
it reminds me of Sly Cooper.
It's nothing like Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper's an action platformer.
It is action. I didn't know that. That wasn't action.
No,
Like
Stray's a cool game. I mean, the best part is literally tripping people with your cat form. You just walk around and trip people.
I haven't played
Your cat.
Immortality, but if we're talking about creativity, horror games are pretty good in the creative department usually. They usually try to do something unique because you can't do the same thing too much in horror games or it just doesn't work
Yeah,
anymore.
I just want to say that Elden Ring has the best innovation as far as games go because it's the final form of the Souls-like, I guess, the Souls style, and it also made it so the game is itself it's something you have to play through to experience. You can't just hear about it. You can't just watch somebody play it. You have to actually literally play it, explore the world, figure out what works for you, figure out what doesn't work for you yourself.
Except the difficulty makes that a high bar to jump over because it's a really difficult game. Those games aren't games anybody can play though. You have to have a certain amount of gaming.
It's never going to be the
play 'em.
accessibility award for sure, but
Yeah, but if
it's
you're
also
talking
really
about like,
easy.
oh, it's innovative and it's like, oh yeah, but I mean, if some people can play, you have to play it to experience it, but then you can't play it because you're not good enough, so you can't experience it.
Like Elden Ring is the League of Legends of single player games.
Anybody can play
Like-
League though. You can play against shitty players. In League.
No, you're gonna get wrecked in League if you
You
don't
can play
have a-
against
like,
bots in League to experience League.
True, and you can also run through the starting areas and just grind them for hours until you're strong enough to take on anybody else.
You'll still get
Hold
one shot
up,
by any
hold up.
boss though, or two shot by any boss. Well, two shot you.
I do
Not
agree
anymore.
with Elden Ring being difficult and like the whole whatever, but I think it's just like this is a game award and not like a like this is for gamers. This isn't for people who are just like casuals who play games. It's like
These are for casuals though.
It's
God
for
of War
everybody.
and Horizon Forbidden West are super casual games. So is Stray.
okay.
God of War has
The only one
a
that's not-
difficult mode, yeah, though.
The difficult
Like
mode is
what?
still easier than most of Elden Ring though.
I think God of War looks like an amazing game. I just don't think it's like creative
Creative.
because it's just the story being led on, which
Yeah.
I guess they're creating, I guess. But
Yeah, but there's already a story section.
yeah,
So this isn't story. This is creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Which of these games took gaming forward anyway?
Stray.
Stray.
No.
Stray, yeah, Stray. Stray said, "Hey, we have a cat now," and you're like, "You know what? You got me. You have a cat now."
Stray
I'll
proved you
just
can do
want a cat in my
anything in
house, so.
gaming. It expanded on what you really can do in gaming. You
I
can
don't
game
know
about
any of these games. Oh, I know Horizon actually.
Horizon, it did. I want to say I don't. From what I've heard,
Horizon and
it's
Ragnarok are
done
the
more of
sequels.
the same thing.
It's the Ubisoft effect where you have to go to a tower, light it up to get all the lights on your map. Wow, look at
And
me.
when I played
can
Elden
collect
Ring,
all
again,
24 of
it
those
felt like
things.
I was playing more of the same thing.
You don't like Souls games, Andrew. That's entirely
But it's still
different.
more of the same thing. But it's like, oh, it doesn't feel different. Like, Bloodborne felt different. Bloodborne still feels different than every other Souls game. That game was innovative in its game direction and design because it was different than everything else From Software had done. The only thing different about Elden Ring is that it's J.R. Martin helped make the world. But that's not. That's, I guess
It's also
design.
open world entirely.
Yeah, but that's been done by everything. Breath of the Wild was innovative. It revolutionized what open world games are.
Yeah, and Elden Ring took that even further and said, "Oh, you can do that. Well, we can do one better."
I don't
They
think
took
it
the
did,
world
though.
and made it.
I think Breath of the Wild overall is a better game than Elden Ring.
I actually think Elden Ring's better replay wise because the combat's fine in Breath of the Wild, but like the progression doesn't feel like it's there really, and the story isn't like hidden throughout the lore. There's just little story. You get some cutscenes if you do all Zelda's stuff, which tells you what happened before the game started, and then you get some of the stuff if you talk to some people. But you can literally skip all of that and just go straight to the end and kill the final boss if you really wanted to.
Yeah, if you really want to. That's the
The story wasn't trickle fed to you. You didn't have to search for it. It was
Breath of
just
the Well, it's not I'm
here's
talking about story, I'm talking about game
slots.
direction. This is
True.
No one's
I still
gonna
think
argue
Elden Ring
that.
took the. I still think Elden Ring took the genre forward. I think God of War Ragnarok is a good story, probably, and that's it.
Yeah, this is just game direction.
And then Stray, you get to play as a cat.
Cat,
Very fun,
got to.
but very basic puzzles. Puzzles, you literally the game plays for you. By the way, literally, you just hold the X button and your cat will jump basically from spot to spot till it gets to where it needs to go, and then you can meow.
You can meow out incessantly.
So it's just e-girl simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting game.
I want to talk about Immortality because it looks interesting in this picture, but I don't know anything about it.
I'm gonna look it up real quick. Immortality.
Like overall, missing the true game of the year, best game right here, in Immortality. Oh, it's the interactive film. Oh, I've heard of this. Okay.
Oh, wait, I saw somebody play this.
It's like the modern version of like what's those games that like Bruno Moose played?
Yeah. I can't remember what they're called.
Okay, I think that should win.
It's
They
the
revolutionized.
movie.
They revolutionized a genre that died like 20 years ago.
I can't remember what it's called. Something film or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's what's that called?
Either way,
What?
yeah, I think Immortality is interesting. I just
That's
hadn't heard of it.
Me neither. I think I saw someone talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, "What is this?" And now I know what they're talking about. Okay,
Let's just go to the final category. I needed to get something to eat.
it's Game of the Year. Game of the Year. Our Game of the Year category nominees are Plague, Tale, Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War, Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
I still now Xenoblade squeaked in here over Sonic.
I mean, God of War shouldn't be here either, just because of what its release date is.
They both released less than a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, God of War shouldn't be on here. I don't even know what they put on here if they put God of War on here.
Just Horizon.
No,
And Sonic, not
they always have 6. Well, Sonic can't be on here.
Pokemon Arceus.
Arceus, yeah, Arceus would be a good spot for Ragnarok.
Pokemon got snubbed.
Pokemon did get snubbed. Pokemon always get snubbed, though.
It's weird that it can't win any of these awards.
It's too popular, I guess.
Yeah, they don't even put it up. Also, Call of Duty's not in here either, which I mean, obviously it wouldn't be, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. The fan vote on Twitter is mostly Pokemon or mostly Sonic, which is weird because it's not up here. Also,
Hey,
Twitter's
Blanche.
disingenuous to what's actually popular. So, sadly I think God of War is going to win, like it did the year it shouldn't have won.
I think God of War is going to win as well. I don't think it should win, but I think it will win. They wouldn't have shoehorned it in here if they weren't going to vote for it to win.
They put it in every category too.
Games
It's
I
a
think should win.
narrative.
I don't know. I really like Stray. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The only problem with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the only problem I had with it was that it's too long. It's 100
How
hours
long
to
is
beat
it?
it, and that's way too long. And it's for someone who loves JRPGs and plays them religiously in their entirety length. And that's not even with doing all the side missions and all the side stuff. I did minimal side stuff, really. And it still took me 100 hours to beat it. Characters are great, the story is great, the music is great, it's just too long. They could have condensed it a little bit.
You know, it's really annoying. I just remembered.
Hmm.
The Last of Us 1 got re-voted on in a few categories, right?
Mhm.
Persona 5 Royal didn't get put back in any of these when it came back.
It should
No
have.
categories for
That's
it.
what it should have been. It should be instead of God of War Ragnarok, it should be Persona 5 Royal. Yeah, round 2, we're gonna win because it's not against Breath of the Wild this time.
It still probably wouldn't. I mean, if it probably could go against Elden Ring. Actually, I think it's either gonna be either Elden Ring or God of War. I don't think Xenoblade would win. It's
The JRPG, they don't give them to that kind of stuff.
popular with some people, but it's not popular enough to be like a general game. And most people who are behind the voting are PlayStation based. So
They're also people who don't. The problem with the Game Awards, I don't think they have their panel, I don't think plays a diverse enough range of games.
yeah, I don't think any of them can beat Elden Ring. So
Because like it's always like this is the first time a JRPG has ever been nominated for Game of the Year. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it's the first time,
Or
but
Persona
it
5.
might be.
Persona 5 was
Yeah,
nominated.
Persona 5
I think-
was nominated as
But
well.
that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, and it was a good game.
And
It
in
didn't
the
win.
interim, it didn't win. It got beat by Breath of the Wild, which, I mean, understandable. Breath of the Wild is also a very good game. But I think between that, there's not really been any JRPGs nominated, have there?
I don't know the last winners of the last
Like
year.
Fire Emblem got snubbed
Yeah, it wasn't even put in there.
in 2018. And I think from there, there's just nothing. Oh, it won like the player's choice, though.
Yeah, Player's Choice is always the game that that doesn't ever get nominated for Game of the Year.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
the Player's Choice Award is always more important than the actual Game of the Year award.
Yeah, we're doing a
All right,
prediction
well,
at the end.
let's make a guess on this, or like predictions, and then let's talk about what we really want to talk about, which is
The announcements.
what's going to be announced at Game of the Game of the Year awards.
God of War Ragnarok's probably gonna win. I think Xenoblade or Plague Tale should win. That's my final input for this.
I think Elden Ring should win. It does a lot for the gaming in general. It was infinitely more popular and sold more copies than probably all these games combined. So,
Okay, that's not fair for Xenoblade. It's only on one console.
So is Ragnarok, and Ragnarok outsold it.
Ragnarok's on 2 consoles, on PS5 and PS4.
Okay, yes, I guess that counts. Plague Tale's on everything.
Plague Tale is on everything. Well, it's also free to play on Game Pass, so it's hard to tell what the sales numbers are.
Yeah, sales numbers kind of. Well, you can do play numbers. How many people downloaded and played it?
They might release
Which
that.
one
Stray
could I?
is probably the odd one out,
Stray
just it's just an indie game. But the indie game won last year, so Stray could win, honestly.
Stray's cool. I think it was just more buzz than game.
Because I don't think anybody saw It Takes Two winning last year, and it won.
What was it against?
Last year? What was last year's Game of the Year? Game of the Year 120. Let's see. It was Deathloop. Deathloop's actually really fun. Game of the Year was It Takes Two, Deathloop, Metroid Dread, which probably should have won over It Takes Two. Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil Village.
Village lost to It Takes Two?
Yeah, it beat Metroid Dread as well. Metroid Dread was so good. I didn't
Dread
beat
was
it, but
so
it
good.
was so good. Deathloop's actually a lot of fun too.
Psychonauts 2 is also like the best modern 3D platformer, so there's that. Ratchet and Clank is, I guess, from what I heard, is they took a lot of the fun out of the original Ratchet and Clank and made it pretty straightforward story and action.
Jennifer Hale's in it. That's cool. I think she's in it. I think she's voicing the main girl.
She's in everything though.
Yeah, she's Commander.
Village never won, I guess, but horror games never win. All right, I'm gonna say it's also God of War Ragnarok, even though I don't think it should win.
No, I mean either, but it's gonna win.
What do you think, Gabe?
That's gonna win.
Yeah, which one of these is gonna win Game of the Year?
Just because it's been so hyped lately. Probably God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, there's a definitely recency bias if you put something this new in there, because this is fresh in all of their minds because they just played it.
Also, anyone can play it because it's way easier than some of the other games on this list.
Plague Tale is
well,
difficult.
Elden Ring and Plague Tale.
It's hard. Like, if you're not good at stealth, it's going to be a rough time.
And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a JRPG, so it's harder to get into if you don't understand how
It's
to play
hard to get
those
into.
kind
The
of
game
games.
is actually really difficult if you don't level up properly, and it's just really long, so that there's that barrier right there.
Yeah, so the easiest one for anyone to pick up and play would be either Stray or God of War. Maybe Horizon.
Horizon's probably
Hope
pretty easy
Stray
too.
wins.
Me too. Cat
Just
game
'cause
win.
then, like, it would be crazy if these people who are spending so much money on creating like graphics and world and mechanics loses to a cat game. Where you
I mean, It Takes
figure out
Two was an
puzzles.
indie game, right?
To be fair, if you look at close to that cat, you can see every hair.
Oh yeah, yeah,
God's
it looks
fur.
amazing.
And people were modding the game to make the cat look like their own cats, and that's great.
I wish they'd done that in the game, like let you customize the cat a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That
So like people were like making like Garfield, and they were making like black cats with white stripes, and yeah, it was an experience when it first came out. I literally bought it when it first came out because I'm like, I gotta play this game. And neither of my cats looked at the game at all.
When I was first playing it, Dean was when I was young as a cat. Dean was looking around.
Yeah, my two cats love watching me play games now though, so they'll sit there and watch me play like I've been playing a lot of Demon Souls lately, so they just sit there and watch me play it.
There's a
Their
lot
heads will
of
move as I dodge.
there's a lot of frenetic movement in those
Dude, I
games.
need
So
some game to just casually play when
I'll play
I'm
Stray.
not grinding League.
Yeah, Stray would be a good one for that.
Are you looking for like a game that's mostly gameplay and not story, so you don't have to focus? You could just kind of play it in the background.
Story doesn't matter to me. Story is
Just
fine.
something chill.
Like, for example, like the
Pokemon.
Walking Dead series, I thought was amazing.
Oh, those are
did
very
you
story.
did you play the final
Yeah.
season?
Yeah, I did the season 4.
Yeah.
The one with Clem, his main
Yeah,
character.
Yeah. Well, she's the main character.
Was she the main character in all of them?
No, she's making the main character in 2 and 4. She's not main character in 1 or 3.
She isn't the main character in 3.
No, it's Javier.
Isn't she in it though?
She's in it. She's not the main character though.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she's the main driving force of the first game.
She's the main driving force of all of them, essentially.
I literally stopped playing because the end of the first game. So
Actually, they get
I was
better
like,
after
nope.
season 1. Honestly, like the stories actually get better as it goes.
I heard it doesn't get better.
The final season's really good. The story for the final season's really good.
I watched PewDiePie play the final season 4.
Oh
I
yeah,
think season 2 is not bad.
they totally. Oh, I think Clem was gonna die in the final season. They duped us in that. They duped us in that last scene.
I was like, oh no, she died.
It was sad. I thought she was sad.
They also, the series, the TV show, has ended on absolutely abysmal ratings.
Yeah,
Oh, it was
yeah,
terrible
that's what I'm
ending.
going.
It was a terrible ending.
They also ruined Telltale's Walking Dead ending by making a comic book where Clem leaves the freaking place, but the whole point of the final season was her finding a home.
They made a comic about Clem.
Yeah, they made Skybound continued Clem's story in a comic book. For whatever reason, I don't know. And then she leaves her home. With the whole point of the final season was finding a place for her and AJ to stay.
So the final section of this video, Andrew, we're gonna talk about
Trailers we
announcements.
Announcements we want to see?
Yeah. So what do you want to see announced?
Oh, announced? Like new games?
Yeah, or like new trailers for old games, I guess.
Well, I want to see more Dragon Age 4 first of all.
Okay.
That's the thing I want to see the most. We'll probably get Breath of the Wild. I want to see more Breath of the Wild.
I want to see Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, anything Mass Effect would be good, yeah.
I think they're gonna release an Elden Ring DLC because it hasn't been announced yet, but they've been talking about it for a little while.
Cyberpunk, the DLC for that will probably see more.
Cyberpunk DLC, yeah, and also League of Legends 2.
The sequel.
Yeah, Dota 2 got one. League of Legends 2 is coming out.
Legends of Dragoon.
I would
That's what I want to see get
really
announced.
not like that.
You wouldn't like a League of Legends 2?
No.
Where
The
all it
game's
is a giant
fine.
update that they're working on in the background, and then they just drop it one day, and it just changes everything. Like,
Yeah.
Overwatch
having new
I wanna-
characters.
I want
and
to see
they just
Legends of
break the
Dragoon.
game.
That's the game I want to see announced.
they add one new character for each role all at once, though.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool if it did that. I wouldn't actually complain about that. And like visual updates and bug
Visual
fixes.
updates.
I think they should definitely fix the visual updates because the mobile game looks better with some of its champions than.
Why don't they
the-
just work on a
actual
visual
game.
update, then just do a massive overhaul for it?
They did already in season 4 or 5.
Okay, do that again.
Yeah, they did do that.
They literally announced it. We waited for 2 years, and all of a sudden it just dropped on us one day, and it looked beautiful. And then after a while, everyone's like, "Okay, kind of looks okay."
Yeah, the whole time goes on.
It looked
Yeah.
updated and it looked nice. And I think it's been fine for a while.
It's time for them to do another one, though. Not
Yeah.
not a big one. Do one for champions. Make the champions look a little more
Detailed.
not
Clean.
detailed, more animated. A lot of the animations don't look very fluid. They look kind of
Stilted.
simple and plain. Their mouths don't even move for some of the characters. They'll talk and their mouths aren't moving.
What? Oh.
I
Like-
think it's supposed to
We'll probably get a
like,
Genshin Impact trailer.
competitiveness or something, right?
Yeah, it's for competitiveness. There's a button you can turn that off though. You can turn off all the pretty stuff. But yeah, we'll probably get something for Genshin. But I'm assuming Elden Ring's DLC will be announced. And same with the other one, Cyberpunk's.
I want Legends of Dragoon to be announced.
Persona
guys.
6 would be an awesome
Oh,
drop
Persona 6. Yeah, Legends of Dragoon.
because they've already announced that they're working on it for a while now. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to announce Legend of Dragoon remake.
Come on,
If Square
do
Enix
it.
own it, maybe, but they don't. So
Blue Point, just remake it.
Bluepoint is owned by Sony now, so I would have bought my PS5 for a reason.
Yeah.
I just bought it because it was on sale.
Trying to think of game like franchises that could announce something new here.
That would kind of break the internet.
Yeah. Persona 6, yeah.
Less,
Oh, you might see Metroid Prime, but I don't know how much Nintendo will see because they do directs.
They announced Joker.
Yeah, they did.
That was the biggest announcement ever at a Game Awards. Was Joker's announcement for
Oh,
Smash.
we might get like a Gears of War announcement or something, like a new game or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Something
Yeah,
Bethesda.
they're-
Oh, Elder Scrolls might make an appearance.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Wait,
it's true, but I heard I saw like someone not talking about it, but like a news source talking about there being a Gears of War movie finally.
Oh, they're making
Yeah,
Netflix.
I've
Netflix
seen
is
that, yeah.
making a TV show and a movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was hoping for a Gears of War 2 remake, to be honest. That's all I want.
I was thinking the same thing. And kind of
Like,
keep
let's
the
go back to our
mechanics
roots.
similar.
I saw
We had
Gears
that
of War
video
2.
of Gabe playing Gears of War. Now we can
Oh,
make
yeah,
that re-happen.
Oh yeah, there
The
was
deepest
all
Gabe
the,
lore.
the deepest NightVentura lore.
Hidden within the system.
There was a bunch of rumors about Gears of War 2 getting a remake a while back, yeah. Or like a Halo version of Gears of War. Horizon. That's
Halo
what they did with the
Oh,
what they did with
Halo
the
Infinite?
the collection.
Oh, Gears of War
Oh, with
collection.
Gears of War
That'd be
collection,
cool.
yeah. With the
Gears of
remake.
War, the Marcus Phoenix collection,
Yeah, probably something like that.
or the Carmine collection.
Probably call it like the Phoenix collection or the COG collection.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would love that. Put the first 4 games in there.
No, it'd be the first 3.
I was referring to the one no one liked.
Oh, Judgment?
The Judgment.
Yeah, I like Judgment. It was bad though. Wouldn't replay it.
Yeah, Judgment was bad.
Gabe, could your computer run Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Probably on the lowest settings, yeah. Wait, he's a good
Something
computer.
The only reason why it crashes sometimes, or it used to, is because of hold on.
Oh,
Was
not on sale anymore.
too much memory, too
Oh,
much
okay.
stuff on it.
it was $30 for a while. Now it's back to 60. Rip.
Yeah, there's games on sale. I looked on Steam.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games on sale. That's just the one that came to my mind because I've
Oh, we might see some more
Played through it several
Hogwarts.
times.
Oh, Dead Rising 2, Dead Island 2 could be there.
Dead Rising.
Dead Island.
Oh, Alan Wake 2. I forgot about that game.
Alan Wake 2. The Wolf Among Us 2, hopefully. That's actually... Have you played The Wolf Among Us now? You should play it.
I have it, but I'm letting it know.
It's so good. I think of any Telltale game, I think you'd enjoy that one the most.
I think we're definitely going to see some of these games you're looking at right now shown off
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah.
I want to see a new game. I want to see what I want to see overall. The new Fable.
Oh yeah, they announced that ages 3 years ago now?
They announced it in 2020.
Oh, 2 years ago, and they've not talked about it like at all. That's had nothing.
It
Yeah,
was
Fable.
a drop trailer that ended their whole thing. Everyone was super excited for it. You know,
And then nothing.
everyone was typing Pogs in the chat. You know, and then nothing.
That guy got canceled.
Don't cancel. Don't do this to me, Microsoft. Again,
Pog guy got canceled.
I will sell my Xbox.
No, Fable.
Oh, the Pog guy.
Pog guy got canceled.
Oh, as if they cancel Fable.
No, that'd be awful. No, Pog guy got canceled.
I know he was crazy.
Yeah, we'll definitely get some trailers that we won't expect. But I honestly, the one I would, as long as they show something Dragon Age 4, I'd be fine.
It's announced back in 2020. Yep, I thought so.
Because they have a show coming out in, like, around the same time that comes out, so maybe we can get some Dragon Age Red Wolf information. Because they said
Yeah,
it just went
it's-
in, it's in their alpha or beta phase now. So definitely have things, it's playable from beginning to end, is what they said. They definitely have stuff to show.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Aren't you like, this is predictions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a video reviewing the entire event and why certain things are wrong and certain things are.
This is why my opinion's right and you guys are all wrong.
Well, like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like
Yes.
they nominated the correct things.
Well, that's
especially for esports.
That's all YouTube is in a nutshell. My thoughts are right
Oh,
and your
shit.
thoughts are wrong.
I mean, you could definitely do something more interesting than just predictions.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, here's your predictions, and then after the award show happens, you can talk about what you got wrong and what you got right. But that would make the video so long.
Well, we could do this now and then do like an after thing when the Game Awards happens. So it'll be 2 videos.
Yeah, up to you. I'm just gonna be editing my other stuff because I've got tons of nonsense I have to get out before the end of the
I
year.
gotta go through all of this. I got my review is coming out, but that's not important right now. Awesome here. So if you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Weegee out, and tell them where they can find you guys if you guys are doing anything. I'll put
Here,
your guys'
YouTube.
I'll put your guys' channel. Gabe, do you want to shout anything out?
I don't really do anything besides
Don't you
play League.
stream?
He's got a stream.
I'll post
At
Gabe's
NightVentura.
Twitch stream and your YouTube channel in the description. They got way more subscribers than me, so.
I'll take it.
Alright, thanks for watching. Weegee out.